Well, I'm back and I need to talk about a revelation that I recently had. I realize I'm at a point in my life where I have no friends or no real relationships. Yeah, I realize I'm 32 and I have no real relationships outside of the person that I forced to marry me. No, I didn't force her to marry me, but that's actually kind of like the only real relationship I have in my life. Like the few friends that I do have, we only see each other like once every 6 months because life be life and everyone's working, everyone's got personal things, everyone's got like family things going on, so I don't really get to see them that often. Truth be told, it doesn't really bother me too much right now because I'm at a point in my life where I'm kind of going on a solo journey within like myself right now. That's why I kind of am trying to make light of it a little bit, but it's got me thinking a lot lately. But it's like the whole loneliness epidemic thing, which epidemic, by the way, is a huge word to me. I feel like the media sold that one. But it still brings a conversation up in regards to how we communicate and build community and like the type of relationships we cultivate. So I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, kind of doing my research for this topic, and I wanted to dive into it a little bit. Like I honestly thought my life by this point would look like an episode of Friends, where like I'm pretty much hanging out with my boys all day and we're doing like kind of adventurous stuff out into the world. And now I'm just like I'm more likely to hit my midlife crisis before I even establish a legit friend group. Like I seriously spend way too much time by myself, and I'm starting to think that me not seeing this as a problem is kind of a problem a little bit. Like, isn't human connection a very important part of overall flourishing? But I also don't really like sharing pizzas, so sometimes I'd be lonely though. So I started getting some plants so I can start trying to grow some plants, figuring throwing myself into an additional like hobby would help. But then I realized I didn't really care too much about the plants. I ain't gonna lie to you. So hopefully them brothers make it. I got two. On top of that, I stopped death scrolling a couple years ago, so I'm not on like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, any of those things. I used to be a hardcore death scroller, so I stepped away from that. So that even pulls me further away from connecting with people, if that is even like a positive way to really connect with the world around you. So I don't know. Maybe I'll jump back in or not. Now, I could be misinterpreting a few things because, I did like 2 whole minutes of research in regards to this, and I was told by the interwebs that social isolation and loneliness are two different things. Where loneliness is tied to an emotional state, isolation is more of an objective condition, right? So I definitely think I'm more of an isolation kind of person than loneliness just because it doesn't feel off to me per se. And I know some of the issues that kind of contribute to people getting into lonely stages are kind of distance or like relocating for work after finishing school, moving away to start their careers, family moves, and things of that nature. I don't really have too much of that has impacted my personal life or like as far as like work life goes. So I guess it's a little different for me. But this has caused me to kind of sit and address myself a little more and have a deeper conversation because I was that kid growing up by the time I was 12. I was pretty much just playing video games, watching porn. I was that kid that was bullied in school. So being by myself was kind of like my safe haven. Pop out the Yu Gi Oh cards and have a date with like the 2 or 3 friends that I may have had at that time that were also kind of going through a lot of the same things that I was going through. Now, though, I'm at a point in my life where I'm really rethinking this type of lifestyle, and it's like I want to kind of build more relationships and have more connections out there in the world for the time that I am here, this minuscule time that we may have on this world. So I want to get to know people and cultivate love and create that, and it just kind of signifies like the state that I am in my life, and just I never thought I would be someone who would start to think like that. So, anyways, friends, I've spoken. I'm off to go stand in front of maybe a local coffee shop and try to make friends in a very creepy way. Maybe I'll dust off one of my old Best Buy shirts and pretend I still work there. I'll catch you guys in the next video.